Welcome back to the channel. In this video today we're going to check out once again DLSS 4 in VR, but using a very special aircraft. This is the Just Flight Vulcan, a brand new update actually, free of charge, to bring it up to the standards for MSFS 2024. And look at the state of this. Absolutely beautiful. This is XH558 and we are at the former home of this aircraft, RAF Waddington. Now this station was known for being one of the V bomber stations, which was part of the QRA, which is the Quick Reaction Alert, I think, which was both the Vulcan and the Victors that were on station 24 hours a day and played a huge role for the nuclear deterrent for the country. And there's been a number of updates to this aircraft, so I thought, why not take her for a flight? In fact, we're going to take her for a display using the MOZA force feedback flight stick. I'll just show you a shot of what it looks like now. I really do love this flight stick, simply because it gives you that feeling of the vibrations of the aircraft, the turbulence, the touchdown, everything, and it makes such a difference, especially in VR, of course. So Just Flight has painstakingly updated this aircraft, as I say, completely free of charge, which I've got to say, massive respect to them. And it was already a masterpiece in MSFS 2020, but it just looks for some reason even better with the lighting in this sim. And it's really given me a reason to fly MSFS 2024 a bit more. Now we're going to taxi onto the runway and attempt to do some of the airshow manoeuvres of the last flying Vulcan, which is XH558. There's been quite a number of different updates as well to this model, including better lighting, better engine sounds, particularly with the rapid start sequence, because this aircraft can actually fire up all 4 engines simultaneously. That was part of their QRA procedure. It's also got Bill Ramsey's helmet. Now I know that Bill Ramsey actually commented on 2 of my previous Vulcan videos, so if you're watching this, thank you so much. It's a massive honour, but also don't take my flying skills too seriously here. Because yeah, thinking about it, if you are watching this, I'm going to get a bit nervous. But yeah, in fact I really need to fly this in my motion rig, which I'm going to do at some point. But at the moment I'm running an X3D processor. It's a 7950 X3D CPU running a RTX 4090, a beautiful white GPU you can see there. That's from Stormforce. Not saying this because it's sponsored or anything like that, I'm just showing you what PC I am running for this. I have been using this system now for about a month, and I must admit, I do love it. It's very, very, very powerful. At the moment with DLSS 4, this is the thing, right? Looking at these gauges, the beautiful steam gauges here, actually DLSS 4, with the settings that I showed in my last video, this is sharper than TAA mode when looking outside of the cockpit at the scenery, but also at these gauges. The only thing that lets it down is when looking at glass panels. But even with DLSS 4, using the DLS tweaks and the NVIDIA Inspector preset J at the time it's recording, because soon the NVIDIA driver is going to be released anyway, and then I'll do another test. It is sharper apart from glass cockpits, but they still look better with this new DLSS 4 profile. It just looks stunning in this thing. Look at the details here. I mean, the Pimax Crystal Light, and really this is all you need to enjoy high resolution VR. I mean, oh my god, look at the cockpit here. It's got a brand new EFB layout as well, and currently we're in air show configuration. Hopefully you can hear me on the microphone there, sorry about that. And just the general textures here are first class, very, very nice. I love all the wear and tear, and best of all, this absolutely captures the Vulcan completely. It gives me chills, and I'm going to demonstrate that now with a takeoff. Listen to this howl, which is the famous Vulcan howl They've captured this perfectly. Here we go. Oh my god. Listen to that.
Power checked.
We've also got some new audio in the cockpit.
Checked.
Wow.
100, 110, 120, 130. Decision. Rotate.
Rotate. Here we go then. And gear coming up. Oh my word, look at this. Oh. Oh wow. Yeah. That is every bit as spectacular as I remember it. But with the new lighting, for some reason this aircraft looks better in MSFS 2024. I don't know what it is. I don't think they've changed the textures, but it just looks better. I mean, take a look at this. Look at that! Absolutely beautiful. Now, that Delta wing is just one of the most famous sights, and I really, truly miss seeing this aircraft around the airshow season. I was one of the people that followed this around the country on my motorbike and basically didn't miss many displays, because I knew how special this aircraft is, and I knew that one day this was going to be grounded to never fly again. And those 4 Olympus engines, just listen to them whine. Oh my word. Epic. Right then, before we do our first pass, just thought I'd show you this EFB here. As you say, we're in airshow configuration at the moment, but there's so many things you can do with this, and I really like what they've done here. I'm not going to mess around with this today, but you can, you know, simulate dropping bombs. You have all of the functionality here. We've got a second pilot as well. Go back to the first pilot again. I like that, that's cool. I'm a little bit out of position now, but you get the idea, folks. There's a lot of things you can do with this aircraft. But anyway, we're now going to take the Vulcan for a display over RAF Waddington. I've just pushed the audio up a little bit, so sorry if you can't hear me very well, but yeah. Let's go for our first pass. I'm giggling like a little kid here because to me this is such a special experience. I'm not even in my motion rig, can't imagine what that's going to be like. Definitely got to try that next. And DLSS 4 is looking really good and performing very well, but I'll talk about that a bit more after our first pass here at RAF Waddington. Here we go. Nice topside pass. She looks absolutely stunning. Oh my word. Are you ready, folks? Here we go. And the famous Vulcan wing over. Just a slow one this time, because we're all a little bit slow. Oh, fantastic. Bill Ramsey, I hope you're proud of me. So DLSS 4 is really giving me a very nice boost in performance here. Normally with the Pimax Crystal at full native resolution, which I'm doing at the moment, I'd be getting about 25 frames per second in MSFS 2024, even with a 4090, pretty bad. But I'm currently getting 38 frames per second, and that's with DLSS 4 set to quality as well. And it's amazing how much sharper it looks out to the horizon. Here we go then for another wing over here UK Rubin style this time. And listen to the tone. I love how that howl, it goes up at the end. That's such a little detail of the engine sounds that they've absolutely nailed. So the next manoeuvre we're going to do is quite famous, and that is the spiral climb. Now I think what they did is they engaged the air brake and was at 80-90% power, and then did a circle climb up to about 10,000 feet, or was it 5,000 feet? I think it was 5,000 feet. Today I'm not going to use the air brake simply because I don't have it bound to my stick, unfortunately, because I'm using the MOZA stick, so we'll have to make do, but we'll get the right position and see how we get on here. See if we can see the Lincoln Cathedral. We'll go over that later on. So we'll just have to be careful with the power here, but this was an airshow manoeuvre that I absolutely love, because you really got the full brunt of that power. You could hear it so well, but also you could see the profile of that delta wing as it spiraled through the sky. And keep in mind, this aircraft is about the same size as an A320, but it just looks bigger because of that delta wing. I'll slow down a bit more here. So imagine the crowd line is to the right of the airfield. Here we go. Absolutely sensational. You really get a sense of how cramped it is in this cockpit in VR. So really checking it, make sure we don't go over the crowd line as we keep spiralling up here. We're at full power and we're at about 230 knots. Keeping it nice and tight here. Outside we go. And as soon as you put the power back, she's like a glider again. You see the textures of the wing there and the rivets shining in the sun. The Just Flight team just know how to make an aircraft, they really do. And I've said this before, but this feels like more than just bits of computer code. It feels like a living and breathing Vulcan inside of my computer. It's the best way I can describe it. And to think they've added native MSFS 2024 support free of charge. And let me tell you, they really take their time, and they've put so many hours into this, making it completely compatible with the new sim. For a free update, massive respect for that. Now just scroll now what the updates are, because it's not just a port, it's also been updated. As I say, it's got nice new lighting effects, you've got the Bill Ramsey helmet, the EFB has been updated, among many other things as well. And the result is this, what you're hearing and seeing right now. So for the next airshow manoeuvre, we would open the bomb bay doors, which are fully modelled. I'm such a noob, I can't remember how you do that. It's down here somewhere, but since it's been a while since I've flown the Vulcan, I'm just going to concentrate on flying her, rather than just trying to be too clever. Because even though she feels beautiful to fly, she is a handful. Listen to those sounds, absolutely beautiful. So I'm using my force feedback MOZA flight stick for this, which is giving me essential feedback and definitely helping me fly this beast a bit better than I normally would. Especially because I haven't flown this for at least 6 months or so. Full power, That is, oh look at that. Yes. She is back. The Vulcan is back in the skies. Certainly feels like it where I'm sat. She's so photogenic as well. From any angle, she just looks beautiful. And I'm getting really nice performance here. Nearly, in fact I was touching 45 frames per second there. Now of course in MSFS 2020 that's a lot easier, but not in this sim at the moment unfortunately. So we need all the help we can get. Right then, just to finish our display, we're just going to fly over the Lincoln Cathedral. It's got to be done. And then we'll come in for a landing. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I have making it, because yeah, they have done an amazing job here. Fantastic job. Oh, chills. Absolute chills. I don't think I need to say anything, guys. I think you just need to listen and enjoy the sounds, the spectacle of XH558 back in the skies again. I don't think you need my voice over this. Just enjoy. Oh my word. I tell you, when an add-on can make you feel like this, you know they've cracked it, they've done it, they've done their job. They've made me feel quite emotional, because this aircraft is super special to me. And I'm absolutely gutted it's not part of the BBMF. I'm so sad the government can't fund this aircraft to be part of our history, because it really is. So sad, but at least we can fly it once again in the skies of MSFS 2020 and 2024 and X-Plane as well. And my first ever review of the Just Flight Vulcan was actually in X-Plane 11 many years ago. So I'm glad you've got all three platforms now to enjoy this legendary Delta lady. Right then folks, it's time to land. Show the gear animations coming down there. Now I've done all this without using the air brake because I don't have it bound to my controls. Because at the moment I've got about 3 different setups going. With the motion rig, I've got a 4070 Ti based system over there, and I'm using my desktop at the moment with a MOZA force feedback stick. So I've got 3 different setups to try and sort out, and 2 different sims. So it's a bit of a pain. I need basically an entire week to get everything set up the way I want it. It's a full-time job, you know, this flight sim malarkey, especially when you're a YouTuber as well. Anyway, let's get lined up here. She really does feel very nice to fly, very smooth, but very manoeuvrable as well, because this is the only bomber, especially of that era anyway, with a fighter stick, because of the manoeuvrability of the Vulcan was such that it needed this style of stick rather than a traditional yoke, because I believe it's hydraulically powered, and with that delta wing it just gives it such great manoeuvrability. But she is a bit tricky at this sort of speed though, so let's concentrate here. We're currently getting 40, just under 40 frames per second. Crystal Light full resolution using DLSS 4, and this is actually sharper than TAA mode with the settings that I'm using, apart from with glass cockpits. But an aircraft like this, well, that's not an issue.
Air brakes, high drag.
Yeah, don't have them, sorry. I'm coming into land anyway. See if we can do this nice and gentle. A bit long. Very long, in fact, but it's okay. I'm confident. Oh, felt that through the stick there. Keeping the nose up for air braking, or aerodynamic air braking. Showboating a little bit there. Not quite on the centre line, but I'm happy with that landing. And by the way, you can deploy the drag chute as well if you want to. Actually, in all fairness, look at that windsock. It was blowing a crosswind quite badly, in fact. It is very windy today, so I think I'll take that. Especially for my first landing in the Vulcan for well over half a year. They've even got that sort of metallic whine sound of the Vulcan down to a T. Just listen to it. Oh, it's just an absolute masterpiece. I just don't know how they do it. This is literally a living and breathing Vulcan inside of my PC. Fantastic. You know what, folks? I'm going to have a coffee, I'm going to refuel, and do that all over again. It's just so good. Look at the tyre marks we're leaving here. And the author imagery is so crisp, I can tell that's a Beechjet B200. And over here, in the ortho imagery of RAF Waddington, that's an AWAC, as they call it, E3D Sentry, with the mushroom, as they call it, radar dish on top. I think they've now retired, which is a great shame. Look at that look there. It's actually very clear considering we're at ground level. I'll tell you what, folks, before we finish the video, let's just have a walk outside, because that's what you can do in this sim now. Because it's all very well looking at it from the spot view, but when you're right up close to it, let's see what that feels like. And again, just another quick look at this EFB. You've got so many options here. Look at this. Got different GPS navigation system, state saving. That's very good. Realistic steer, auto shoot. Oh, I should have put that on. Damn it. That means I'll have to do another Vulcan video. What a shame. Pilot callouts, trim sensitivity. Yeah, there's all sorts of things going on here. So we'll just put the aircraft cold and dark. Yep, confirm that. That's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And we're going to pop outside and have a look at the Vulcan from basically just standing next to it, because that's the thing about VR, you get that scale that you just don't get on a flat screen. So let's pop outside and have a look at what the Vulcan really looks like. Okay, now this is where VR becomes really, really special, because this is a life-size Vulcan, full to scale, right in front of me. It's like I'm walking around a real Vulcan. And I've had a very lucky opportunity to do this in real life when I met the station commander at RAF Waddington many years ago, when my friend had special permission to land at RAF Waddington. That was a crazy day. And we had scrambled eggs with the station manager. That's a random story, but anyway. And we was able to get right up close to XM607, which was actually the famous Vulcan that went over to the Falkland Islands to drop its payload on Port Stanley's runway. I think that was the actual aircraft or the Vulcan that did it. Might be wrong, but yeah, and that is now the Gate Guardian at RAF Waddington. This Vulcan resides at Doncaster now, and you can go and see it, I believe, still. But seeing it up close and personal like this, let's have a look at the underneath the bomb bay. Oh, look at that! That is fantastic. I think the only thing missing now is the names of all the people that are on the doors here. But I imagine that would be a whole nightmare for Just Flight to get that approved. But just look at all this, the detailing of all the wires, the piping, just all the electrical systems. That's where all those massive bombs would have been. And you can actually walk underneath the bomb bay of a Vulcan. I think, is it Duxford? Or no, I think it's Cosford. And that just reminds me of it straight away. Just looks so gorgeous, doesn't it? And this is, as I say, this is what VR is all about, guys. If you haven't got VR, you are missing out, because this is the type of experience you get. It literally is like a Vulcan is right here in my man cave, and I'm just enjoying it all for myself. The spirit of Great Britain. And that will do for this video. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Just Flight Vulcan in MSFS 2024. Absolutely epic. Completely free of charge for those who have already purchased the 2020 model. You can get an upgrade, and with some very tasteful fixes and features as well, added features such as the new lighting system, the Bill Ramsey helmet, like that very much so, the added refinement to the sounds, the EFB, lots of new tasteful upgrades, completely free of charge for those who've already bought the Vulcan. And why haven't you guys? This is epic. This is a must-have. Anyway, that'll do for now. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to subscribe. I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.